Standard Chartered Bank is convening leaders in Johannesburg for the Beyond Girls Education Summit. The aim of the summit is to increase cross-sector understanding of best practices and opportunities to enhance economic equality and empowerment for girls, as well as to broker new partnerships in order to increase the number of young people reached by these efforts. And for more on the summit, we spoke to Geraldine Machaba, the head of corporate affairs and brand marketing at Southern Africa at Standard Chartered Bank. Here's what she said to us.
The date was deliberately chosen. We all know what Nelson Mandela stood for.
Absolutely.
He championed women's rights and just equal rights for everybody. And the summit is really, as you said, looking at the different stakeholders who are working in the area of women's empowerment. Mm-hmm. And our program goal is looking specifically at adolescent girls, because we believe we need to start targeting women when they're still very young. And this program that we have has a very unique model, and we would like to explore other opportunities during the summit.
Geraldine, maybe let's talk about in doing research to put this initiative together. What did you find as the common global as well as continental challenges that are faced by young women and girls throughout the continent and the world?
Right. I think we all know that gender equality is not only a moral and social challenge, it's actually an economic imperative. Mm-hmm. We strongly believe at Standard Chartered that the state of women's education is directly related to the state of the economy of that market. Yeah. Where one is flourishing, so is the other. Mm-hmm. Where one is suffering, so is the other. And we believe that investing in girls is one of the highest return of investment that developing markets can get involved in. And the Standard Chartered, we operate in developing markets, and most of them are low income and low equality markets. So one of our priorities is focusing on gender balance, and that's why we have invested in this program. It was actually launched 11 years ago. This is the third summit that we are holding, and we are absolutely delighted. We've got representation from about 15 markets across the globe attending the summit here in Johannesburg.
What can those that are attending this summit actually benefit from, particularly the young women that want to be part of the summit, Geraldine?
Let me tell you what I loved about the summit this morning. For the first time, this is a conference where we've been able to bring the participants, the recipients of the program. Instead of having people like us talking about what we need to do for the girls, we actually have girls who are part of the program from here in South Africa, Nigeria, Pakistan, Myanmar.
What kind of girls are these, Geraldine?
These are young girls from 12 years old to up to 18 years old.
From previously disadvantaged backgrounds?
From disadvantaged backgrounds, sharing their experiences, sharing about their lifestyles, how after attending the program, they've suddenly gained confidence, how they're able to speak and know where to go when they have certain issues in their lifestyles. We also have the champions, the gold champions. These are the young leaders, young ladies in their 20s who do the coaching of these girls. And we had an interesting session just before I came here, which says, girls, tell us what you want. Tell us what you really, really want. I don't know if you know that song. But we thought, let's bring them to the summit. Let's not talk about what they need. And let's hear from them.
Let them tell us.
And they have been telling us, and I'm sure they'll continue telling us.
Zambian President Edgar Lungu has announced that he will engage with opposition parties with the aim of reducing political tensions in their country. President Lungu made the announcement after meeting Catholic bishops of Southern Africa. Lungu has long been criticized for silencing political opponents, and opposition leader Hichilema Hakainde is languishing in jail facing treason charges. And our foreign editor Sophie Mokwena spoke to the Zambian ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Zambia, once a beacon of hope, it was a haven for freedom fighters in the SADC region. In recent times, its human rights record has slipped. This after the current president won the election by a slim margin. The opposition disputed the poll results, but the court ruled in favor of the ruling party. This led to deepening political tensions and the arrest of the opposition leader.
If the law is broken in any way, there's no one who's above the law in any country, including Zambia.
He is facing treason charges.
The Conference of Catholic Bishops held a wonderful meeting with the president just last week on Friday, in which they expressed their concern in which they advised that there could be need for political dialogue between President Edgar Lungu and the opposition leader, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. And I am glad to report that in the spirit that we are known for, President Edgar Lungu has said we should have these talks. If there's anything that threatens our peace, that threatens our stability, that threatens the public good that we have, we need to attend to it. And if the talks that have been called by the church required to take place, President Edgar Lungu has opened himself up.
The ambassador has dismissed reports that the president has imposed a state of emergency.
We have not declared a state of emergency yet. What has been declared is a proclamation to keep public safety. This is like a stage before the actual state of emergency. So we are not in a state of emergency. Remember, we have a new constitution that is concerned of our past. We also lived under a dictatorship in the past. So it removed any powers regarding things that might threaten individual rights and deposited them with Parliament. It is for this reason that the proclamation by President Edgar Lungu was only valid for 7 days. Beyond 7 days, it required that it goes to Parliament, which Parliament has done and has given a limited of 90-day period.
The DA leader Mmusi Maimane was refused entry into Zambia recently. He went to Zambia to attend a case of the Zambian opposition leader.
What concerned government was his prior statement before he flew into Zambia. He issued a statement where he said he was going to pressure our courts of law to ensure that Hichilema was released. He said the charges Hichilema was facing were trumped up, that our democracy was eroded and the judiciary was not independent. He came to my office and I encouraged him to say, your next trip, let's plan it together so that we do not face what he faced. Remember, no South African requires a passport to go into our country. We have 35 flights a week, meaning almost 5 flights a day from South Africa into our country. And the huge volume of our people, of this traffic, you've never had an incident like that. So it was unfortunate that it happened in the manner it happened. But we urge outsiders like Mr. Maimane to respect our processes. I think South Africa would also want that outsiders and foreigners respect its processes and its procedures. Similarly, that is our call.
The opposition parties in Zambia have called on the SADC Troika to investigate. SADC will hold its summit in Pretoria next month. Sophie Mkwena, SABC News, Johannesburg.
All right, let's take a quick ad break, and after that,